我并不是想要建立一个所有的这个专制制度是合理的，我也不是讲，也并不是我要否认一切，但我们应该是站在一个公正事实的立场上，然后去判断。我知道你们西方的很多的年轻人呢，是所谓的批判主义者，所谓的批判主义呢，我也比较了解过，有时候呢也比较反感。因为什么都要批，就是有道理也批，没有道理也批。如果有道理的话呢，我赞叹这种精神，因为批判需要一种创意，就是需要就打开自己的智慧，需要丰富的想象力。就是如果一个封闭和观摩式的这种教育就肯定不行的。但是呢，没有道理就批判别人是一个天大的错误。不合理的批判是天大的错误。
And so I'm not trying to establish that reincarnation system is reasonable, and at the same time, I'm not going to, or I'm not completely denying it. But I think for all of you, it's good for you to judge it with your own critical thinking and your own mind or your own wisdom. However, I noticed that in the West, people, especially young people, really like to criticize, or criticism is very popular among young people in the West. And I also noticed that with or without reason, people like to criticize. But I think criticize sometimes is good because you have to have creative thinking, critical thinking, and also you have a mind to know a lot, to open to a lot of things, to accept or to deny. You are trying to use your own thinking. I think that part is good. However, if you trying to deny something without a rational reason, then I think it's a big mistake.
现在很多年轻人，我知道是美国这边的很多学校也是，大概是上个世纪的70、80年代开始呢，各个学校开一些这批判主义的思想。那么我们很多华人也好，其他地方的一些学生呢，到了这里学习2、3年以后呢，回去之后，所有的传统文化，就是包括对父母啊，很多的行为都看不惯，就是一直批判，就是但这个里面可能也要就是观察到底合不合理。
And from what I understand, from last century, criticism started to be very popular in America. And some of the students who study abroad, like in America, after 2 or 3 years, when they go back to China, they give up all their traditional culture and they started to criticize their parents. You should do this, you should not do that. I think for all these things, no matter you learned it later on in your life or something you already have when you were in your childhood, I think you have to examine it with some logic and rationally examine what you should adopt, what you should give up.
其实我看到过一些西方学者，他们的批判的主要的原则呢，他的智慧要成熟，但所批判的应该有合情合理的、具有说服力才可以批判的，没有任何道理就只要能批斗，就这样的话呢，虽然有些学校就老师一直鼓励，就是只要你会做的话，慢慢会好的，就是这是跟我们的东方的有些辩论的思想。就包括我们佛教当中有每天都是有辩论的这样的交流的平台吧，但是这个很多地方是不同的。像我们在寺院当中，就是互相有辩论的话呢，你有说服力就是可以说，但是你如果没有说服力，光是给别人讲呢，就是这是一定要受到这个辩论上的惩罚。
And in fact, I noticed a lot of scholars in the West, when they try to criticize something, they're using matured, ripened wisdom. And you have to criticize, you have to convince the other ideas or views. People hold other views. Although I noticed that a lot of teachers or professors also encourage students to criticize. I think that is a little bit different from what we do in Tibetan Buddhism. We do debate almost every day because people like hold just pretend to hold different views, opposite views, debate a long time every day. However, one thing you have to do is you have to have a good reason to refute the other part. And if you don't have a good reason, then there also have some punishment.
我的这样的这种说法呢，也可能带有一点批判性。如果我的说法就是需要批判的话，那等一会儿你们这个互动环节的时候，就是使劲批我，好吧？
And so I think what I'm talking now maybe also has some flavor of criticism. Maybe if you think so, during the question and answer session, you can also criticize me.
其实藏传佛教的专师制度呢，以前大概是18世纪吧，就是在那个时候呢，黑格尔的有些文章当中也说过。 就是说是专师制度是不合理的，因为这个某个人就是某某喇嘛呢，就是专师的话呢，他是神跟人就是不可能合一的，这两者是矛盾的，所以专师制度是不合理的，它是欺骗的一种手段。我也分析过，其实那个时候呢，黑格尔的思想呢，对佛教就是有部分的有一些理解，也有赞叹，也有一些。 不合理的批判，但实际上呢，我刚才讲的一样的，其实佛教里面的所谓的专师呢，并不是基督教所讲到的所谓的神变成一个人，不是这样的。所以，虽然像这些哲学家呢非常了不起，对人类社会做出了极大的贡献，但有些时候可能对当时的这个历史背景、宗教背景不太特别的这种。 了解的时候呢，说出来的有些语言呢，可能需要就是我们后人还要进一步的去论证。
So when we talk about Tibetan Buddhism, in the 17th and the 18th century, there are articles from Hegel, and in his article, he also talked about reincarnation. And his view about this is he thinks that because he thinks the reincarnation of some lamas is not reasonable because he said gods and human beings are contradictory. They cannot be just to become oneness. And he thinks this system is used to fool the people. So he criticized Buddhism in that way. However, I think that is not reasonable because the gods he understood is in the context of Christianity. The gods is different. When we talk about gods, it's different in Buddhism. So I think those philosophers, they have some contribution to human history. However, because their understanding religion or other religions or Buddhism is inadequate, so I think it's important and necessary for people of the later time or at this time, present time, to be critically think about what their ideas and make the judgment by yourself.
包括这个理财啊，理财跟海格尔之间就是有一段时间，但后来他的有些书里面呢也会提到过基督教，也会提到过佛教。 但佛教呢，比较而言，说他会放得比较高一点，但他有时候对佛教呢也不是了解，他经常把它当作是一种非常这个严厉事件的、逃避的、单空的，就这么一个学术来认定。其实真正你会了解佛教的一些教义呢，实际上并不是他所讲的那样。当然，我也相信那个时候呢。 不像我们现在那样，就是这个要像翻译什么的话呢，就是很快的时间当中从书籍上也翻译啊，就也不会到这样的。再加上呢，当时的整个欧洲的有些文化的话，大多数他们在受教育的话，我看过他们的传记，他们受到的好多的教育呢，就是印度教的一些老师。印度教呢，跟这个佛教虽然是以前一个地方的，但实际上是这两个宗教完全是不相同的。印度教的人呢，对佛教也并不是很了解的，所以他们受到自己的一些老师的影响，然后呢，后来就是写的书就有些可能跟现在的我们这个比较专业的这个佛教的人就去观察的时候呢，就是非常非常简单的一个道理呢，也许可能他们都并没有了解。
And also from Nietzsche's books, you can also find, he also mentioned about Christianity and Buddhism. He also gave his comments on these religions. Although he put Buddhism a little bit higher position than Christianity, but I still think his understanding on Buddhism is not adequate or correct or accurate. Because he thinks Buddhism is passive and also holds the view of nihilism on Buddhism. If you have the opportunity to understand or do more research on Buddhism, you will find that what he said is not actually the fact. However, I also understand because at that time, translation was not that easy. Not like nowadays you can use your smartphone, then you can get the translation easily available for you. So maybe the resources that he relied on was not so accurate. And also I read his biography that in his education, he also has some influence of his teacher who has some influence on him from Hinduism. But Hinduism is different from Buddhism, so I think he must have some misunderstanding about Buddhism. And I think those mistakes for a person who have done some research in Buddhism, they will think that's a very simple mistake, and nobody should make those mistakes.
我不知道我们这边有没有宗教的研究，但是呢，如果有宗教的研究呢，比如说你要了解印度教，一定要知道印度教的背景，它的修行方法，它的整个的生活习惯。如果研究佛教也是同样的，它的背景和它的内容一定要知道。现在很多学术界的，他只是拿几本书在文字上开始下功夫，有些时候文字也是没办法明白。但是佛教的教义也好，宗教的教义呢，文字的背后还有很深沉的内容。如果他没有一个老师的亲自的指导的话呢，也许可能我们看了好多书，但是呢，研究的结果是不一定很理想的。如果研究的结果不是很理想，他的批判批错了，他的观点就是没有专业的这种水平的话呢，也许这个作品呢，就是不一定是非常对人类社会不一定有非常大的贡献。
I don't know if you have religious studies here or not. However, I think when you do any research on religion, for example, on Hindu or Buddhism, you have to understand its background, it contains, it practices all different aspects. And nowadays, some of the scholars, they just take the literal meaning of those texts and they just spend a lot of time doing research on those texts. I think that is not enough, it's inadequate, because behind all those literatures or all those words, there are a lot of profound meaning that you can only get from a teacher. So I think if you want to do that, you have to use this approach to relying on a teacher to help you understand more or more authentic about that religion. And if you don't do that, then the results of your research won't achieve a very high level. And what you have done may not really make a great contribution to the world.